Hey guys, it's God Bars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 419th episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So today is actually kind of a bittersweet review, because even though I still have some dope solo output to discuss, this is definitely the last time the legendary collective A Tribe Called Quest is going to be featured on the page as a group, which is due to the fact I've already covered literally every other LP in their extensive discography. And these consist of classics like their 1990 debut, People's Instinctive Travels in the Paths of Rhythm, 1991's The Low End Theory, 1993's Midnight Marauders, 1996's Beats, Rhymes, and Life, and 2016's We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service, which I'll put all the links for down in the description below, and this ultimately leads us to 1998's The Love Movement here. This is by far the most contentious release in the entire A Tribe Called Quest discography, and while its bottom placement on most worst to best lists of their output may lead you to believe this is a low quality or subpar project, that's really more by Tribe standards because it's more of a case where virtually all those other LPs I named are universally adored by listeners. But I still think most fans would co-sign the take that this project has way more dope moments than whack ones. Actually, I've even seen a number of people over the years contend that this is their best work, though while I try to accept and keep in mind that everyone has their own opinion, to be honest, it kind of reminds me of this guy I saw recently who insisted The Dogfather was much better than Doggy Style and was in fact Snoop's best album. Or the people who say Graduation was Kanye's best album despite Drunken Hot Girls, where it kind of just comes across as a look how special and different I am contrarian kind of stance. That being said, I don't want to accuse anyone who has a personal attachment to the love movement of lying or misrepresenting their true feelings. Frankly, it's just hard for me to picture someone putting on the Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, and We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service, and then this thing, and coming to the conclusion that the last of the four is the strongest. But I suppose it's possible. Anyway, enough with the bashing of the love movement, because as I mentioned earlier, we receive way more awesome tracks than we do skips here, and even if the overall execution may have left something to be desired, I do still respect how they ultimately continued to progress and experiment with their sound, and this new direction shown especially bright on the track Find a Way, which actually features one of my all-time favorite A Tribe Called Quest instrumentals, though this is one of the only times you couldn't give resident mastermind Q-Tip the credit, because this timeless moment, along with all of the beats on the Love Movement, were covered by the UMA, which is basically a production team consisting of Q-Tip, Jay Dilla, and Ali Shaheed Muhammad. And Dilla's output can be heard all over this thing, especially in the drum work, and in how some of these samples are chopped and pitched. I also want to use this song to share some bars from our resident MCs, Tip and Fight Dog, because their unique vocal tones perfectly accompany this romantic sample flip, and it's also just subject matter that both of these legends have always excelled with, as they both have a great sense of how to indulge in a tiny bit of vulgarity here and there, yet knowing how to kind of keep it held back and still empowering for women. The abstract kicks us off here, not including the short hook that's mixed in with the sample, rapping, "Messing me up my whole head, teasing me just like Tisha did Martin, now look at what you're starting. Schoolboy's crushing it ain't on the hush. The whole world sees it, but you can't, my peoples they complain. Sit and rave and rant, your name is out my mouth like an ancient chant. Got me like a dog as I pause and pant." Then the late icon Fife takes the mic, coming right in with, "Speaking of which, got a leash and I wish just to rock you, miss. Make a militant move, peep my strategy. End of the day, you're not mad at me. Not dealing with nobody, that's what you told me. I said, hey yo, it's cool, we can just be friendly. Cause yo, picture me messing it up, her mind not corrupt with the ill C cups, shit. I'm on my J.O. bullshitting, hoping that the date goes slow, got me like a friend. What confuses me though is kisses when we breeze. Tell me what's the deal, yo. I already broke down the killer production unit that handled these instrumentals, but we also get a nice little set of guest appearances, which was something Tribe had been relatively scarce on up until this point. But this time around, they brought in artists like Spanky, D-Life, Punchline, Wordsmith, Jane Doe, Mos Def, aka Yasin Bey, Noriega, Busta Rhymes, and Redman. Though the deluxe edition does add on a couple more features, including the likes of Kid Hood, as well as leaders of the new school. When it comes to my overall 3 favorite songs on this one, I think I would have to trim it down to Find a Way, Like It Like That, and For Moms. But as for honorable mentions, I still definitely want to give a shout out to tracks like Start It Up, Rock Rock Y'all, Steppin' It Up, Da Booty, Common Ground, Get It Going On, Pad and Pen, Busta's Lament, True Love, Scenario Remix, Moneymaker, and 1-2 Shit. Thank you for watching my 419th video. Next up, we have a Bay Area pioneer who's been put off on this page for criminally long. So check in for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what tracks you return to the most off this vibe-filled, kind of underrated LP. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.